Hey everybody, thanks for joining us once again. This is Joe.
And this is Mike.
And you're here with IFS, In Your Face Sports. And thanks for joining us here for our second video. We really appreciate the support that the fans gave us. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
The first one, our very first video. And you got anything to say to the fans?
Just thank you for the comments and the ratings. Hope you guys enjoyed the video from our last video about the trade talk. If you guys got any, comments or whatnot, agreements or disagreements of what we talk about on the show, feel free to just blog in or message or whatnot. Just tell us what your opinions are. Also, we'd like to hear from you guys.
Definitely.
All
right. So first topic is gonna be top 3 teams in the East, and then the top 3 teams in the West.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the East. Who's your top 3 teams in the East?
My top 3 teams, at number 3, it's going to be the Orlando Magic because of Superman, Dwight Howard. Amazing. Number 2, believe it or not, it's going to be the Boston Celtics. The reason why I rated them at number 2 is because, they're not doing so hot. 3 losses in a row, it's not that great. But number 1 is going to be the Detroit Pistons. I honestly believe that they're going to pick up and just dominate the Eastern Conference. I'm telling you guys, watch out for that. So the reason why is because they kept their core. They kept their core players, and they're just an overall great team when you look at their lineup, bench, and they have this amazing chemistry that they'll pull up in the Eastern Conference.
Well, I gotta say, I agree with you on the exact same 3 teams. However, the order is a little different. I went with my number 3, the Orlando Magic. Definitely, Dwight Howard is Superman. He can do it all. He plays defense. He's a beast on the offensive end. The whole team as an overall is an up and coming team.
Yeah.
Turkoglu is lighting it up this season, and we'll see if he can continue it in the playoffs. At number 2, I got actually the Detroit Pistons for the exact same reasons actually that you told me. The depth, the experience. That team has been together for the past 4 or 5 years, playing the same guys over and over. Their bench is pretty solid. They're developing their new guys, but I just don't think that they got what it takes this year to take on my number 1 team, obviously the Boston Celtics in the East. Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. That's a big 3 right there that nobody wants to mess with, and they've been on a losing streak. But you know what? They're out west in their first extended West Coast trip, and a letdown was to be expected at some point. This team is definitely not as good as the Chicago Bulls that won 72 games. That's for certain. But I do think that they're the best in the East this year, and their bench maybe not so hot. They're developing it a little bit, but I think their point guard is up and coming. Maybe not on the level of Chris Paul or Darren Williams, but he's good enough, I think, to do what's needed. So there you go. That's the top 3
in the
East for me and Mike. We'll move on to the top 3 in the West. Now, what's your top 3 in the West now?
My top 3 in the West, it's going to be number 3, the Phoenix Suns. The reason why I rate them so low, some people are like, whoa, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's number 3 because of Shaq. That's the only reason why I put them down to 3. I would normally put them at number 2. But Shaq, I believe, is going to slow them down. Right now, he's doing all right, doing pretty good. Surprised a lot of us, but I don't think he's going to keep up. He's going to break down sooner or later. At number 2, it's going to be... Who would be my number 2? It'd be the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks, just because of Jason Kidd and Dirk Nowitzki. I'm telling you, okay? Jason Kidd, okay? People are like, oh yeah, his age, but just look at the other video and that'll explain everything. But my number 1 is gonna be the Lakers. Amazing starting lineup, amazing bench. Honestly, I believe that they have the best team in the NBA on paper. And if you guys, you viewers, if you can prove me wrong, please feel free to blog in and write another team, the Celtics, whatnot, and let's do a player matchup. And we'll see from there. But if not, thanks for agreeing with me.
Well, we agree 2 out of 3 there. Number 3, I have the Phoenix Suns as well. I think the Shaq trade does something for them, although I don't think Shaq is the beast he used to be. But he's still a handful in the middle. You still gotta count for Shaq in the middle as long as he can stay healthy
For 2 minutes in the game. For 2
as
minutes
long
in
as
the
he
game.
can stay out of foul trouble. I think that the Suns have got what it takes to give a challenge. Like you don't need 5 people to run a break. You
Yes.
don't need 5 people to run a break.
But Marion was a key player in that fast break.
I
You
agree.
Can't deny that.
Hey, they're my number 3 team, just like you. All right, so we got number 2. I'm actually going with the San Antonio Spurs. Just like the Pistons, that core: Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan has been there and done that. They got the experience. They got the savvy veterans going, although they're getting a little older. I think Kurt Thomas pickup added another big guy that can just bang down low, and who actually has the ability to take a mid-range shot here and there. So I'm going with them number 2, and then number 1, Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers. I'm picking them. Andrew Bynum, Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom, and Kobe Bryant with Derek Fisher as a savvy veteran point guard. You can't get any better than that lineup in the entire NBA. Okay, that's the best team, not only in the West, but for me in the entire NBA. Okay, and like Mike said, if you disagree,
Feel free to blog
feel
in.
free to disagree and
Yeah.
let me know what you think. And but those are the top 3 in the West for me and for Mike.